Police are calling it riot-like conditions. You can still see glass is shattered across the parking lot out here. There are still items everywhere out here, proof of the tragedy that took place at these mobile homes just last night. Take a look at this. This is a towel that was used to wrap around the head of the woman who was grazed by the stray bullet. And if you continue on down this way, you can see this glass shattered. This is where the bullet entered their mobile home. Now, of the 139 Kansans that ran in the Boston Marathon, more than a dozen of them were from right here in the Wichita area. You can see there are cars that are spun out. Here's one going right next to us. Cars spun out all over the place up here this morning. Oh gosh, it is awful. The tense fiscal cliff negotiations didn't stop some American companies from hiring in December. The Labor Department says U.S. employers added 155,000 jobs last month. Hiring in manufacturing and construction fueled the gains. The unemployment rate remained steady at 7.8%. It says fear the wheat, and on the back is a 3. They say that they're going to hold these up anytime the Shockers get a 3, which hopefully will be plenty of times. You're looking at 188 pounds of marijuana, an unbelievable sight, but what hits you first is the smell. Each of these bricks is wrapped in a dryer sheet. It kind of smells like we're standing in the middle of a laundromat. They do say that at this time they are treating it as if he is armed and dangerous. Again, this is at Maple and West. It's coming down again. Right now it's just a light, very pretty snow. We are on the scene this morning of a rollover accident on Kellogg. I'll give you a look here. It's right over the overpass right here. We're here at the Kansas Mission of Mercy Free Dental Clinic, and take a look at all the people who are already lined up to receive their free dental care. It's no secret, it's windy out here. I just finished talking with the Saline County Sheriff, where I learned more about exactly how Antonio Brown escaped from the jail yesterday. Unfortunately, the trend continues. Gas prices went up again overnight, 16 cents. That young mother could be facing murder charges. Reporting in downtown Wichita, Jordan Shefty, Cake News. The fire that at one point raged up to 70 feet tall is now much smaller. Take a look over my shoulder. You can see there are still a number of crews out here working on that fire. A long line of cars and a lot of people that are showing up here to partake in the protest. You can see here behind me, they're lining up here at the entrance to the plant, stopping cars as they try to enter, just trying to get their point across. An early morning police chase quickly led to a search and rescue as crews spent much of the morning searching in this pond for a body.
Lots of sirens, fire trucks, police cars, lots of activity.
At around 2 this morning, a traffic infraction led to a police chase. The pursuit ended when the car crashed into this fence, but the driver took off on foot and possibly jumped into this pond near Wichita South High School.
Well, officers believe they heard someone calling for help, but they could not tell exactly where he was in the water.
LJ Walker says she was in the car during the chase and claims that her boyfriend is the missing person.
He stops and he gets out and the cops put me in the car and I hear him say, he said, help, help, and they never found him.
She says that he just got out of jail yesterday for driving on a suspended license and that he ran out of fear of going back.
And now they can't find him, so I don't know if he's alive or dead.
Rescue crews had to postpone their search of the pond until daybreak, but even with light, there were still complications.
The water that we're searching is very difficult because of debris and the metal and things that our divers could get entangled with.
The divers could only see a foot in front of them, and with the water temperature, they had to rotate divers every 30 minutes. The diving continued for 2.5 hours, but eventually resources were exhausted.
If there is a victim in there, it could be days later before it comes up to the surface.
Diving efforts were called off at about 12:30 this afternoon. Crews say that they will continue to use boats to scour the surface and banks. Reporting in South Wichita, Jordan Shefty, Cake News.
Good morning, everyone. Glad you're joining us. We are tracking a story this midday out of Wichita. Sedgwick County Sheriff's deputy shoots and kills a bank robbery suspect.
Yes, Cake's Jordan Shefty is live at the scene with the latest. Jordan.
Mike and Jamel, we are here at the 1900 block of South Seneca. You can see the bank where the robbery this morning took place right here across the street from us. And as you can see, there are still a couple of units here on the scene investigating exactly what happened. You can see that the yellow tape stretches all the way across here. So they have this whole area blocked off. They were over in the trees just a little bit ago, walking around in there, taking a look around. We have scanner traffic that tracks the entire incident from earlier this morning. Take a listen to what played out. Just before 7:30 this morning, a holdup alarm came out from the Credit Union of America on South Seneca.
14-19-201 for a holdup alarm, 1920 South Seneca, 1920 South Seneca.
A Sedgwick County Sheriff's deputy was close by and responded to a robbery at the credit union.
He drove to the building, observed an individual running from the building.
I got a male running. He's wearing jeans, a gray hoodie with the black jacket over it.
The deputy gave chase. We don't have a lot of details because we're investigating right now, but the suspect did have a weapon. The deputy fired and shot the suspect.
Shots fired. Suspect down.
The suspect was pronounced dead at the scene. The deputy was not injured.
I'm 10-4. Suspect down. I'm right at the 1900 South Seneca.
The scene is now being investigated. The Sedgwick County Sheriff's Department is working jointly with the Wichita Police Department and the Kansas Bureau of Investigation. Sheriff Jeff Easter says that there were a number of people who witnessed the shooting.
Well, I think we're always fortunate that it's not worse than it is. I mean, it's already as bad as it can be. Somebody lost their life, but no innocent citizens were involved.
South Seneca is now back open completely and running smoothly. As you can see, police will now begin the process of going through what they've heard from witnesses and what the deputy who was involved with the shooting has told them as they try to process exactly what happened out here this morning. Reporting live in Southwest Wichita, Jordan Shefty, Cake News.
Cake's Jordan Shefty is here now with an amazing story of a great little girl.
That's right, Mike and Jamel. 15-year-old Taylor Hershey lost her battle with leukemia on Tuesday. But what separates her story from others is the amount of community support that has developed, keeping Taylor's message alive. Taylor Hershey was diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia 5 years ago at the age of 10.
She had a rough time, but she always hung in there. She was more positive than anybody else.
She defied science a number of times, but this week the disease flared. Her battle ended on Tuesday, October 30th.
She said that she had, a wonderful life. She wouldn't change it. And that's the hard part.
Throughout her journey, Taylor's mission had been to inform and spread awareness of leukemia. The tragedy has propelled her message, carrying it to thousands. In Mulvane, orange, the color of leukemia, is tied on nearly every tree and light post in the city. But it's not just Mulvane. Support has flooded from miles away.
Ohio, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Australia, Japan, India. It's gone nationwide.
The Facebook page made in her honor has over 5,000 likes.
If you were to pull up what I see as administrator on there, we've reached almost 1 million people worldwide.
At the Mulvane football game last Friday night, the evidence of community support was overwhelming. The stadium filled with orange.
We're green and white, but that night I was glad we were orange and white.
And late in the game, a chant broke out, not for the team, but for Taylor.
It was a very, very touching moment. Like I've been coaching 21 years. There hasn't been a lot of moments that I've had tears on the inside. But that was something that didn't touch me as a football coach, but more as a human being.
The crowd at that game represents just a small portion of the cheering section that continues to grow for this little girl.
She was the greatest kid in the world.
There will be a pancake feed tomorrow morning at Mulvane High School from 7 to 1. A celebration of Taylor's life will take place on Sunday. Taylor has requested that everyone come dressed in jeans and a Taylor's Gang t-shirt. If you are interested in purchasing a Taylor's Gang t-shirt, we have a link set up on our website, cake.com. Just look for this story on the homepage.
What a great spirit she had.
She did. It's a tough story to cover, but an important one.
It's amazing how many lives she touched.
Absolutely, and it just continues to go.
Good story. Thanks, Jordan.
Thanks, Jordan.